Cuse Countdown is here on the road in Buffalo, New York, side of the second and third rounds for the South region of the 2014 men's basketball tournament. I'm Chris Wilner alongside Bobby Kravinsky, and Bobby, Syracuse out on the floor behind us for their open practice here before tomorrow afternoon's game against Western Michigan. I guess the biggest story is the shooting slump of Syracuse coming off that loss against NC State in the conference tournament. What is the key for Syracuse to get that shot back?
Chris, I don't expect CJ Fair to shoot 3 for 16 again. I also don't expect Trevor Cooney to hit 10 threes and go bananas, be this team's savior.
Syracuse going down to Miami, and boy, it was a scorcher not only outside the Banquet United Center but also inside, as Coach Boeheim's team looked to go 19-0 for just the second time in program history. We'll have all the analysis and reaction for you as Syracuse comes away with a 64-52 victory over the Miami Hurricanes. All of that coming up right here on Orange Press Pass. So they're doing a lot of shooting behind us. I know CJ said in the locker room that he was confident. Now moving on to the game tomorrow. We're in Buffalo, so it's just a couple hours drive from Syracuse. Does that pose an advantage for Syracuse? But you also can't overlook Western Michigan. Is this a trap game too?
Well, I don't think a team's first game in the tournament.
We're back inside, guys, and you know what? There was a couple key moments that I could pick on this game. That was a real turning point for Syracuse. What'd you guys see?
Well, starting out, it looked like it might be the tip. It might be the turning point, as you were saying before the game. But
welcome back to Orange Press Pass, and well, you know what segment we're on now with top performers. I guarantee you that, guys, in this one, I didn't really find any top performers on the Syracuse side of things. Tim, we'll start with you. Who stood out to you the most on this Virginia team?
I had Akeel Mitchell. He had 12 points and 9 rebounds.
When we come back here on Orange Press Pass, we'll hopefully have some player sound for you from Charlottesville as a very disappointed Syracuse team tries to regroup in preparation for hosting Georgia Tech on Tuesday night. We'll be right back here on Orange Press Pass. And you heard it last week, our analysts, they were pretty much almost dead on this game.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Varun, 65-53.
Jim Boeheim mentioned before the team got here in Buffalo that he is just as confident in this team as he was last year going into the tournament. We all know how that ended up down in Atlanta. So a lot of people are scrutinizing Boeheim because of, hey, you know, Syracuse isn't the same team going on the last few losses. How is Syracuse, or how did they respond to that and show that they're confident?
They certainly come into this NCAA tournament differently than a year ago.
You know, this was deja vu of what happened in the first meeting between these two teams, but I tell you what, Syracuse finds a way to win.
Yeah, I saw a tweet after the game that said Syracuse is going to be happy he doesn't have to play Miami anymore, and that pretty much hits the nail on the head.
Absolutely. Jim Boeheim's been focusing on get Cooney at least 8 to 10 solid looks per game, and that's what's really got to lift the confidence of Syracuse. But I tell you what, you got to look at Jeremy Grant too. He's been stepping up as of late, but look for him to really work down low on the inside and get some of those dunks that we saw later in the regular season. Well, speaking of inside sources, our own Ben Peck down in the Bank United Center. Ben, it's been a probably crazy day for you doing it all one-band band style down there. First of all, I know you're not complaining because the weather's beautiful, but talk about the atmosphere in the Bank United Center. A lot of Syracuse fans, no? Well, with no leadership, and that's the biggest thing for Coach Boeheim is getting that leader. We want to take a look now at our little freshman focus, I guess that was on this game between both freshman point guards, Tyler Ennis, and there you go. Both of these guys, London Parentes too, very similar and also very different. Tyler Ennis, a little bit more touted coming into the season, wanted to be, and is, I'm sure, still in the running for ACC Rookie of the Year, but you can't count out Parentes as well as his leadership tonight, too. Doesn't score quite as much as Tyler Ennis, but at the same time, they both have their ways of dishing out the ball. As you can see there, Parentes leads the ACC in assists at over 4 per game. So we'll have to see what happens, but early on in this one, it was all Syracuse. And then it kind of shifted on to Virginia, but the second half it just went away. But we'll want to take a look right now at the first half of what did go right for Syracuse, as early on they controlled the game very early at the half, 28-27. It was an interesting ending to the first half. We saw Syracuse, they opened with a 9-0, or Virginia opened with a 9-0 run, and then Syracuse started to come back.
Yeah, you know, I thought that Fair and Ennis really carried the ball.
Once again, we are here, Cuse Countdown, CitrusTV in Buffalo for the second round of the men's basketball tournament here for the NCAAs. We'll have continuing coverage here on CitrusTV, so be sure to check it out. Well, boys, it's been a pleasure, and we'll look forward to Wake Forest there on Wednesday. For Darius Joshua, Gabe Altieri, I'm Chris Wilner. Thanks for joining us again on Orange Press Pass. For more sports, Citrus TV, check out our blog, sportsblog at citrustv.net, as well as you can get on social media, Twitter and Facebook at Citrus TV Sports. From all of us here in the studios, have a great night. We'll see you Wednesday after the game when Orange take on Wake Forest.